What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Call Me Thursday podcast. It is your best girl, Sarah, and she's here solo, and she's no longer Sarah Singletary. Can you believe it? This is my first episode back as Sarah Ann Lowry. Yes, guys, we did it. We got married. I know that you guys listened to all of the episodes kind of leading up to the big day. We talked wedding advice. We talked to our friend Emily Green. It was so much fun. All of the prep for the wedding, whether it be batching podcast episodes or just general bride prep, all paid off, was so worth it. I won't spoil it because Sav and I are going to talk all about it on Thursday. But wedding was amazing. Honeymoon was amazing, incredible. Now I'm living in, you guys can see a little bit of a different background. Our guest room is now becoming my podcast studio, and my incredible husband has even helped me get lights and things like that set up. So yeah, all new setup, all new Sarah, but still it's solo episode Monday, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. So today I am talking all things no spend November and don't buy that December. Yes, for me, I don't know if this is true for you guys. I think it's probably true for most of America. Holiday season is typically like a full-blown assault on my credit card. Like, it is, not only is it an assault on my credit card, but also it is such a strain on myself, but also anybody around me. I will never forget, and this was actually not that long ago. Me and my sisters, you guys know Emily and Allison, we were, and we had to be in like late high school, early college. So like we were grown, like we knew better. And we were sitting in I think it was the JC Penney's parking lot in the town that we grew up in. And we were just screaming at each other and fighting. And we were like, what do we get, Mom? I don't know what to get her. You don't know. I don't know. And it's like 2 days before Christmas. And we're like freaking out. We're yelling at each other, pulling our hair out. What do we get, Mom, for Christmas? Da 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 da. We waited till the last minute. And truthfully, like since then, I'm kind of like, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, holidays can already be crazy enough with whether it's travel or, in my case, I've got wonderful family and friends, but I know for a lot of other people, holidays can be really challenging in that regard. Like, why do we pile it on with one, waiting to the last minute, which is a whole other thing, but then two, why do we pile it on by adding on all of the financial strain? Like, that was the part that I couldn't get. Like, I continued year after year to like, oh yeah, just swipe, 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 swipe. We'll figure it out later. But the worst part, the gag is, it wasn't even for other people. Like in this season of like giving and generosity and giving to those less fortunate and blah, blah, blah. It was like, yeah, I ran up the credit card bill, but it wasn't for other people. It was for me, because everything's on sale. Everyone's selling you something. You have to have everything. You're inside more because you're not able to get outside as much because it's so cold. So it's scroll, scroll, scroll. You're seeing more things. You're seeing more things that you want. And then you end up spending a ton of money. So that is why last year, for the first time ever, I implemented a personal no spend November and don't buy that December. And really all that was is I decided not to do any personal shopping, no shopping for myself in the months of November and December. And I'm doing it again. And I wanted to tell you guys about it, tell you guys how I did it, maybe encourage you to do the same because it was so good last year. I'm doing it again. And a couple of things that I pulled from it, that I learned from it, that I thought might be helpful for you guys is because we're right here, like we're at the end of October. So now's kind of the time, if you're going to commit, if you're going to do it, like I'm giving you like a week, right? You got like a week and a half to decide like, okay, I'm in. I think I want to try it. I want to try not to spend any money on myself for the next 2 months. So spend money on other people, give to those that are less fortunate, give to those who don't have. Buy really great gifts for your friends and for your family, but just don't buy anything for yourself. And it was a little hard, a little bit challenging. But again, like I said, it was so good that I'm willing to do it again. But number one thing I can tell you guys to do, here we are, like very last week, getting into the last week of October, prepare. We've got like a week and a half, 10 days left in the month. You've got to prepare. So if you look over here in the Lowry household, right now it's kind of giving Noah's Ark a little bit. Like I'm like two of everything. I'm kind of, and it's not in like a hyper excessive way. I think last year, the first time I did it, it was definitely excessive. I bought like 2 umbrellas and like a cleaning kit for some suede shoes that I had just bought. Like I was just buying all kinds of random stuff because I was a little bit panicky. Like, oh gosh, I have to buy everything I think I could ever want and I have to hoard it all right now. That was definitely what I did last year. Not so much this year though. This is like, okay, hey, I know that I've had my eye on, I really am. Whether it's I've fallen for the trend or whatever. Like I'm very much into this whole capsule wardrobe thing. And so for the winter part of a capsule wardrobe, I'm like, okay, I really don't have a great black boot. And I need a black boot. And I've been thinking for the last couple of months, I want a black boot. But in my head now, like these next 10 days, I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy this black boot because it's something I've been thinking about, something that I really want. It's kind of helping me prepare. I know I'm going to want to scratch the itch, in November around Thanksgiving when I don't have anything to wear, when I don't have these shoes that I really, really want. So like, just go ahead and prepare, get it now. If it's something that you've been thinking about, get it now. And you might be like, well, Sarah, if I get it now, it's going to be on sale inevitably. It's fine. You will be okay. And we know like a bunch of stores, they just mark up the price and then put it back down, put it back, quote unquote, on sale, but it's really just back at regular price anyway. So like, I don't know how much you're truly missing out, but just prepare in the sense of like, buy the things you've had your eye on. Like, don't try to like, okay, well, I'll wait till January or whatever. Like, no, if you've been thinking about it for a few months, buy the boots. If you know that you don't have any jeans that fit you great going into winter, if you don't have any sweaters that fit you great, like just go ahead and like, if you've been thinking about it, again, I'm not saying panic buy all of fill in the blank store that you like. Don't panic buy all of the Gap, which like really quick, like shout out to Gap. I'm kind of loving Gap right now. I don't know if Gap's coming back. I don't know who's in charge of what and who's in charge of telling me what's in, but I'm kind of in the Gap right now. So don't panic buy the whole store, but just kind of like prepare. Just if you've been thinking about it, go ahead and get it. It's October because you know that you're not going to be buying it when it's on sale in December or November, which is when they want you to buy it. And that's really like the other part of this too. I feel like on the podcast, I pretty consistently challenge you guys in that like, hey, like you're smarter. Like you're smarter than fill in the blank. And if you listen to the Call Me Thursday podcast, I think you're pretty sharp. And like we all know that like this is where everybody makes their money in November and December, these last 60 days of the year. This is where the retailers make their money. This is where the clothing brands, the influencers, this is where everybody makes a bunch of money. And it's like, hey, I'm all for people making money. I want my neighborhood influencer to make a bunch of money this Christmas. I want, a great clothing brand or whatever. I want them to make a bunch of money this holiday season. But here's the thing. I don't want them to make a pile of money at the expense of like me getting my credit card to a place where I can't handle it. Like it's like, yeah, I want my neighborhood influencer to win, but not at the expense of me being in credit card debt that I can't get out of. You know what I'm saying? So just like, it's not shade to people who are targeting your pockets this year, but just remember, like, if so-and-so is getting money out of your pocket, that's less money in your pocket. And you can only let people take money out of your pocket that you still have money left in your pocket. Does that make sense? So like think about it. I'm not saying don't buy anything. I'm not saying, well, I guess I am saying don't buy anything in November and December. But even if you say, okay, Sarah, that's not for me, I am maybe encouraging you too to like, just be aware that people these next 60 days, right, wrong, or indifferent, hey, everybody's got to eat. I want everybody to succeed, just not at the expense of my failure, at my financial failure, So like, just realize that you're being sold and that it's extremely intentional and that people are targeting you. They want your money and you can give it to them and it's okay. But just know that like, it's not a happenstance that you've been dreaming about fill in the blank, high dollar purchase and it keeps showing up on your TV screen, your laptop screen, your phone screen. Like it's not a coincidence, it's not a coincidence that things are going on sale, but like, is it actually on sale because it doesn't really, it could be one of those things that gets marked up and then gets marked back down to be on sale, just because, and even if something is on a great sale and it's a real sale, that doesn't mean you're saving money by shopping the sale. Guys, I'm preaching to myself right now because these are all the things I had to say to myself last year and all things I know I will be saying to myself again this year as I embark on trying not to spend any money on myself the last 2 months of the year. Another thing that really helps, so like, okay, yeah, spend the next 10 days preparing, but what also really helps is start thinking about how you're going to replace that money. So like, you're not going to spend any money on yourself. Let's say you have an extra, and I don't know what you spend on yourself, whether it's you might have an extra $50 a month, or you might have an extra $1,500 a month, whatever your typical self spend is, start thinking about like how you can replace that spend. And I think that's something that's exciting. Like, okay, cool. I didn't buy these shoes for myself, but if I like, because I'm not spending that money here, I can spend it on getting something really great for my sister or getting something really great for this friend, or I can make a bigger donation to whether it be my church or my charity of choice. Like, almost let like the same excitement that you would have on making a purchase for yourself, think about how you can kind of refunnel that into being excited for like giving something to someone else, whether that be in the form of a gift or in the form of generosity. And something else that I really like too is like think about the people in your life who have similar taste to you. So I know that somebody in my life, like shout out to my sister-in-law, she and I like taste wise, same person. Like we like all the same things. And so this year in November and December, as I'm thinking about what to get for her, it's like, okay, things that excite me. And like I jump to grab my credit card for myself and like get my size. And then I realize I'm not getting it for myself. I'm like, well, if I love this, I know she would love it. Same thing with like my sister Emily, which really for Emily, it's more of the reverse. Like anything Emily thinks is cool, automatically I'm going to think is cool. I don't know that it's the same the other direction, but like think about the people who like what you like and the things that make you excited, like whether it be a product or a shirt or whatever, an experience. If you see it and you think like, oh, that'd be really cool for me, almost try to like reassociate that, oh, it would be really cool for them too, and find a way to like loop it back around and just be super generous. And so I know that for just me, like, and my family, like generosity is something that we want to be known for. It's a fun thing to do for other people, especially at this time of year. And so, and I think that everyone to their own degree does it, but just in my experience, it got harder to do for others when I was trying to do for others and for myself all at the same time, all with the same credit card statement, right? Like the Chase does not care if I'm trying to be generous and shop for myself at the same time, like the bill is still a bill, right? And so as I started to feel this tension of, okay, I can't be as generous as I want to be and shop for myself and keep my credit card bill under control, I'm like, okay, one of these two things like has to give. And I decided that like I have to give in November and December. And like, again, this is not like I'm your financial guru and I'm just so like pious and amazing and generous. That's not that at all. I'm saying that like this was a thing that I had a great experience with last year. And I also feel like you'd have a great experience with it because again, like we were saying, I don't know about you guys, but like Q4, and I don't know why I keep saying, I don't know about you guys. Well, obviously, I don't know about you. Like, I'm not inside your head, but I'll just speak for me. Q4 can be hard, right? Q4, October, November, December, the last 3 months of the year. For the longest, I called it my Q4 gloomies. Turns out there is a name for it. Shout out to my therapist. It is like seasonal affective disorder, SAD, seasonal depression. You've heard of it. Like, it's super common this time of year. And I know that I'm not the only one that experiences it. And even if I have an incredible family and incredible friends. And if I still get sad this time of year, I know that there are other people who don't have amazing family and friends who are getting sad this time of year. And I know that a way to help pull me out of being sad is to stop commiserating and thinking about myself and thinking about everything I want but don't have. So almost like if you know that this season can be hard for you and you know that it can be a challenge, like don't pile on by adding financial strain. Take yourself out of the equation for 60 days and turn around and give it away. And I think that it'll go a long way in addressing the Q4 gloomies and the credit card statement while we're at it. But anyway, those are just some thoughts from me. I hope you guys loved this quick little episode. And I hope that you come back on Thursday because it is the full recap of all things wedding, all things honeymoon, all things moving to Atlanta, becoming a wife, obviously for the first time, for the first like 2 or 3 weeks in. So it'll be a good one on Thursday. But until then, I don't know what we'll do, but we will talk to you on Thursday. Okay. Love ya. Bye.